Hey everyone, it's Carolyn. Welcome to the channel. So today's video, we're going to be focusing on color magic. And so with color magic, you're going to be learning all about the different colors and how they each have different intentions and different properties associated with them that you can use in your spell work. So if that's something you want to learn more about, definitely stay tuned. I want to say if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe. I would love to have you a part of this family, and make sure you turn on that bell notification so you don't miss out when I post future videos. I post more educational videos like this, but I also post readings. So I do zodiac readings, collective readings, and pick a pile readings, along with unboxing videos of different tarot and oracle decks. And I'm gonna have more videos linked in the cards above for you to watch next. So getting into color magic, the first color I want to start off with is the color white. So the color white is associated with purity and cleansing. So if you are trying to cleanse a space, you can use a white candle. It can also be used to represent new beginnings, or almost like this next chapter, this next phase, because it represents this purity energy. It's almost like this innocent energy of not knowing what is beyond, not knowing what the next step is. So it kind of represents that new beginning of like taking that leap of faith on yourself. The color white also can be used to substitute other colors. So let's say you're doing something like color magic and you don't have a specific color, white can be used to substitute anything, just like how in crystals, clear quartz can substitute anything. Because white is associated with this purification energy, it can be used to uplift the energy, it can be used to bring in happiness or positive vibes. And the color white can be used to represent the crown chakra, which is all about ascension, knowledge, and downloads. So it represents this energy of ascension, of this deeper understanding of yourself, and it can also be used to represent spirit. And so you can use the color white when trying to understand things a bit better or trying to bring more knowledge into your life. And so then we have the color black, and the color black does not represent anything evil or negative. The color black actually represents protection and banishing. And so the way that I kind of view it, it's almost like the color black is absorbing everything. And so it can absorb all the negative things, all the things that you need to protect yourself and shield yourself from. And it's almost like it catches all that energy. And then by working with the color black, you can either banish that energy or you can remove it from your environment where you are now protected. It is no longer a part of you. It's not following you around anymore. And so black is really great to use when you do need to protect yourself. So don't be afraid to use the color black. It's not inviting in anything negative. It's not going to hurt you. It's actually going to protect you. So next you have the color red. So the color red is used to represent sex, love, passion, and power. And so working with the color red is very intense, very powerful. The color red can also be used to symbolize blood. So again, it's going to this very deep connection, this rooted energy to people, and it actually represents the root chakra. So the root chakra represents this deep-seated, grounded energy, this baseline connection between everything and everyone, with spirit and the universe, and with everyone and everyone else. And so when you are working with the color red, you want to do so in a very powerful and deliberate way. The color red is meant to connect you and bond you with another one on a very deep and intimate level. So when you are working with the color red, it's going to bring a lot of passion into your life. It's going to really ignite things, but there's going to be this deep, intimate side of things as well. So you want to be very careful with what you are using the color red for when it's in your spell work. You want to make sure that you're being very purposeful with what you're using it for, because otherwise it can tie you and bind you to things that you might not want in the future. So just make sure you're using it very smartly. Now for romance of itself and love and flirting and connection, that's what you're going to use the color pink for. So the color pink represents everything that the color red does, but it almost does it in like this timid version of itself. Think about it. The color pink is just red mixed with white. So what is white? It's purification and it's cleansing. And so when you take this very powerful, very intense energy of red and you bring in this level of innocence, it still creates that love and that passion, that connection, but it is not as intense. It's a lot more mild, where it brings in new beginnings with romance. So I would use the color pink when you are trying to do spells in which you're bringing more love into this situation, or where you are trying to bring new love into your life, even self-love into your life, more self-care. Pink is really going to be representing romance, but more of the flirtatious romance, not the very passionate romance. So that's the key differences between pink and red. When in doubt, I would say to use pink. until you have thought through what the color red is meant for you to use or not. Because pink's going to be more of a beginner friendly color to work with. And then, like I said, you can use red, just make sure you're being very smart about it. I also want to add that when I say that pink is less powerful, I don't mean in the sense that your workings with it or the spells you're doing with it won't be as powerful. I mean the color itself, the intensity that it carries with it is less intense. It's less powerful in the regard of it's not as aggressive. The color brown is used to represent this energy of grounding, of stabilizing. Think about the color of soil. Brown can also be used to represent the element of earth. So if you are doing any spell work in which you need to represent the earth, you can use the color brown. And so because brown represents the energy of grounding, it also represents the energy of cultivating, of learning, and kind of giving the stable, secure foundation to then expand upon. So when you are doing spell work, you can use the color brown to represent good luck in the beginning stages of a project. You can use brown to represent the stability of things to protect you during the initial stage. And it can also be used to represent the beginning of something. The color orange represents justice and success. It can represent energy, and it's the color of the sacral chakra. And so the sacral chakra represents your reproductive organs, so it can represent this energy of fertility, but it also represents the energy of creativity. And so with this being said, orange can be used to represent creativity. It can be used to represent inspiration. It can also be used to represent the energy of fire. So if you need to represent that element in your spell work, you can use the color orange. This also represents this energy of passion, inspiration, and the initial spark of things. So you can use the color orange when you are trying to reignite things or bring some energy back into things. It represents this energy of success. And so you can use the color orange to bring inspiration into your life. You can also use it to kind of help you with your goals or the things that you're working on and allow them to be successful, where it's almost like you created this idea, you brought it to life, and now you're making sure it reaches its full potential. The color yellow represents happiness and joy. It represents our happy emotions, like when we're very excited about things or when we are feeling very uplifted. So you can use the color yellow to uplift things around you. Think about it almost as the sun, which brings in this hope, this positivity, this inspiration, this illumination. You can use the color yellow when trying to bring awareness to a situation or to reveal the truth of things, where the sun is shining its illumination onto everything and you're seeing it for what it is. The color yellow also represents the solar plexus chakra, and so this chakra represents our willpower and our determination to do things. And so the color yellow can be used to represent success. It can also be used to represent dedication and focus. Like I said, going back to that sun energy, it represents the ability to illuminate everything around you and see what you really need to focus in on. So you can use the color yellow when you are trying to uplift things, when you're trying to focus in on things and see them for what they truly are, to get a better understanding of a situation or yourself. And you can also use it to represent your own strength to overcome a situation. This color really has a lot of positive energy surrounding it. So next we have the color green, and green represents money, wealth, prosperity. It also represents the heart chakra. And so because of this, it represents health. It also represents compassion, empathy, and can be used against envy or jealousy. And so because of this, green is great to use in your spells when you are trying to represent good health, good fortune, bring more money into your life, or grow your income, switch things within your career. That's really what you want to focus on, the color green. Or if you are trying to protect yourself against negative emotions, either of yourself or someone else's. Green also represents the element earth. So just like brown, you can use it in your spell work to represent the earth. And because it can also be used to represent the earth, it also has this grounding energy. But think about it like you would with the heart chakra. It's the center of things. It's what things are tethered to. The color blue represents intellect, the mind. It can also represent the elements of water and air. And it also represents the throat chakra. So the color blue can be used for communication. It can be used to connect with other people and make sure there's no misunderstandings. It can be used to represent the mind and the intellect. It can represent thoughts and bringing your thoughts into reality. It represents the energy of understanding things and actually doing something with the things you understand. So it can represent this energy of movement. And because it also represents the energy of water, it can represent this sensitive energy as well, where there's compassion, understanding, and empathy. And the color blue also has this calming energy about it, so you can use this to balance out the energy of either a situation or your environment. And so you can also use the color blue to represent the truth of things, to bring things to light, because it is allowing people to be authentic. It's allowing situations to be authentic and show who they truly are by expressing who they truly are. And so when doing spells with the color blue, you really want to focus them either on your own communication, of understanding things, of expressing yourself, of being authentic. And then we have the color purple. And purple represents the energy of authority, of leadership, power, and wisdom. Think about how we used to associate royalty with the color purple. Purple represents the energy of the third eye. So it represents this wisdom, the unseen energy around you, psychic abilities. It can represent being able to connect with spirit and communicate with them. But it also represents this energy of connection within oneself, of understanding oneself on a spiritual level. And it can also be used to represent the crown chakra if white is not being used to represent that. So it also represents this wisdom and intake of knowledge, of understanding things on a deeper level. And so purple is a really great color to use when trying to advance your knowledge on something. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video and it helped you understand how to associate the colors with their magical properties. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below what spell work you do with color and how you incorporate it into your practice. If you like this video, please give this video a big thumbs up and share with others who need to see it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I would love to have you a part of this family, and make sure you turn on that bell notification so you don't miss out when I post my next video. I post multiple videos every single week. I'm gonna have other videos linked in the cards above for you to watch next, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video. I hope you have a good one. Bye!